Hey, everybody. Welcome to Morning Talk with Mike and Paul. Good morning, Paul.
Yeah, whatever.
It's going to be like that today, huh? Yeah. Hey, today we're going to be talking about Chicago. I've been watching a lot of news, listening to their governor in Illinois, their mayor, city council people, and they are living in la la land somewhere. There's no problems, but we're gonna show you that there is a serious problem in Chicago, and I think that is the next city on the hit list for Trump to send troops in, send more federal agents. And we're talking federal agents from DEA, from ATF, from the FBI, from ICE, all that Homeland Security people going in there. But wait till you hear what they're going to be up against. Nothing like Washington, D.C. So we're going to talk about that today. Oklahoma beat Illinois this weekend. Yeah, but Illinois sucked. I mean, I seen that game, and yeah, that really wasn't a challenge for them. Just like Mizzou played Central Arkansas, and it was 61-6. So I don't think that's a true test. But when you watch those games, like number 6 against number 10, number 1 against number 3, and stuff like that, and then Alabama lost, so it was a good Saturday for me. So that was good. But needless to say, we'll be talking about a lot of things today. But we're going to try to focus in the beginning about Chicago and give you some facts and not some hyperbole, as our former president used to love to use that word. I wonder if they counted how many times he said that word over the years and do a drinking game out of it. But anyway, before we do that, I want to tell you that the link is pinned at the top. We want to hear everybody's view. So come on up and join Paul and I for the discussion.
Just do not talk about sports.
Don't talk about sports. Yeah. So anyway.
I don't follow nothing on nobody.
So before we do that, let's get started. There's Rebecca. Good morning to everyone. There's Tamara. Good morning, Tamara. They're having a conversation. There's Debbie Drock. Welcome in, Debbie. Good to see you. My co-host there, Paul Honeyman from England, who's really loving his government over there. There's Wendy.
I'm loving my government so much, you could put them up against a wall and give me a machine gun.
Yeah. There is Wendy over at Hardneck Farms. Good to see you.
Either that or give me a guillotine. I'd do it.
There's Linda Peterson.
Yeah. See what everybody you're saying hello to now? While you've been chatting on, I've been saying hello to.
Okay. Hey, there's Miss Dyer Family Farm. How you doing? Good to see you. Karen Brest is here.
I know, my favorite Karen. Take it to Tanglo. Can you tell
There's David Blunt from Delaware. Welcome in. There's Aim. Welcome in. Everybody's saying hello to everybody. There's Rainy Rich.
Yep, I've just said hello to them.
Good morning, Tina. All right, there's Don Ray B.
I haven't said hello to her yet, but I have said hello to Tony.
She's got a good little channel there. I've been watching her since she started the construction of her house where she's retiring to. I remember she was camping out in the shed. So that's a long, long time ago when she got the property and all that stuff. So welcome in, Don. Good to see you. And then there's Dyer Family Farm. There's Jack. Unless his wife is running 2 channels at once, and I appreciate that. Make sure you guys hit that thumbs up. And make sure if you're in the chat, please let me know that you're here. Yeah. Okie Homesteading Expo.
Tony's here.
There's Tony.
Yep.
We got off our cruise and in the hotel now. We'll be home tomorrow around 11 a.m. There's Ace. Welcome in. There's Miss Shirley.
Put Ace back up.
Put Ace back up.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Oh. Hey. See, nothing gets past Paul, guys. Yeah. Saying hello. There's Eliseo de la Cruz. There's Miss Arlene. Arlene.
Yes, I've said hello to Arlene.
Ray Castillo's here. Good to see you. I'm trying to see if anybody. She goes, oh, nope, it's Jack. All right. I always watch his redneck weather report. Well, he's usually right on the money. For an untrained weatherman, he is right on the money most of the time. I think that's the farming in him. He can feel it in his bones what's going to happen.
Yeah, me, I just look out the window.
Scrolling. Elena, welcome in. Good to see you. Let's see. And I'm at the bottom. Now, if I can just stay there, right? Yeah. We'll be good. Hey, so as everybody knows, Trump sent troops and federal agents into D.C., clean that place up. The mayor's not happy, even though she hasn't done nothing to clean it up. But they cleaned it up. They made arrest after arrest. And remember, what's her name? Jana Perino, the judge. She is now the federal attorney for the District of Columbia, and she is laying the hammer down on criminals.
Yeah.
Laying the hammer down on them. So now that they've done what they're doing right now, one of the things that really piqued my interest was the governor of Illinois making a statement. And this was after he did a stroll down one of the ritzy area along the Lake Michigan, where if you're a criminal, you kind of stand out and says, oh, there's nothing going on here. Pick the most crime-free area to do his little walkthrough in. But he made a statement that we don't want your federal troops, we don't want soldiers. He goes, but we can take care of this, just send us more money. Well, they've been getting federal funding for the police, but at the same time, defunding the police in Chicago, and they're down 5,000 police officers in Chicago. So what did you do with the money?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, they're saying, hey, part of the crime thing is taking care of people. So they were shifting money to take care of illegal aliens. Okay. So giving them money is like giving an alcoholic that's on the street begging for change, saying, oh, I just need something to eat. And you know exactly what they're going to do with it. The total opposite. Go buy something else or buy drugs or whatever the case is. So giving them money has never been the answer to anything. Hey, Carlo, how you doing?
The only people they've been giving money to is themselves.
Sure.
The IRS need to do a complete audit of the entire Chicago system.
Yeah.
And not just Chicago. Every Democrat that is in power. Yeah. Democrat. They're not crats. Yeah. They're not good enough to be crats.
See, the thing that gets me is that they're in total denial, or they're operating off a script and will not deviate from the script, meaning they're in total denial about everything, and everything they do is perfectly okay and perfectly legal. But when you do a deep dive on these cities, they're as corrupt as they were back in the 20s, 30s, 40s. Okay. They're like government mafioso, if you will. And that's it. And I can't, and here's the sad part. The people that live in this city, I was about to call it a shithole, but that lives in this city keeps voting for the same people and believing their promises, and they have never delivered on promises.
Do they? Do they keep voting for the same people? Because I've heard some of these places have over 100,000 dead on the voting poll.
Yeah. Well,
that's a lot of votes.
Part of the problem is mail-in voting does not work.
Nope.
It is so freaking corrupt, the mail-in voting. Get your ass out of bed, go stand in line, vote, turn it in, show your ID. And I don't understand where showing an ID when you vote is oppressive to anybody. You have to show an ID when you go get welfare. You have to show ID when you get Social Security. You have to show ID when you go to the doctor. You have to show ID when you go to the bank. Now, how is voting oppressive to anybody? But yet they keep beating that drum over and over that it's racist, it's oppressive. Okay, so now you're saying that the poor, our Black community, our Hispanic community, our Asian community are so poor and disenfranchised that they don't have an ID to show, hey, look, I'm a registered voter. No, what they're doing is just come on in, anybody and everybody, and vote. That is the premise behind voter identification. Are you registered to vote? Now, you could be a citizen and you don't never register to vote, but hey, I vote every year, they say, but you're not registered to vote. So it makes no sense whatsoever. Okay. Let me see.
Virginia Alexander's coming.
Yeah, that mail-in voting is just that is a front to funnel votes, okay, for a certain party. As a farmer, I'm outside. A lot of what I have to watch the weather in the past 5 years across the skies. We saw lines in the skies yesterday. Yeah. Yeah, there you go. There you go. All you got to do is there's your picture. It says, and then they look on the roster. I know here, I go in Oklahoma, I give them my ID and my voter registration card. They look in their book and they say, oh, there you are. Okay. And then they hand me the stuff and I go and vote. Easy peasy. Right. But this mail-in voting thing. Yeah.
Say hello to Virginia.
And when you get done with counting all the mail-in voting, it could be 2 to 3 weeks after the election's over, and then they keep going to court and say, "Oh yeah, they missed it. They got until this day to get their vote in." The voting day is November 2nd. Okay, that's it. You vote on November 2nd. If your thing's not postmarked, it gets trashed because you couldn't follow the rules. But no, that's not what we do. We got to make concessions for everybody. Oh, the poor and disenfranchised, they couldn't get to a mailbox or they couldn't get to the post office, but they'll get there when the check comes in. That's kind of funny to me. But I'm just telling you. Hello, Virginia Alexander. I seen it, Paul. I seen your comment. I missed it. There's O'Rourke's Littlefield.
Yep.
Labor Day weekend. Yep. Today is Labor Day here. All right. Hope you guys have a great time. Yeah.
I wonder who they're going to blame for fixing the bloody old voting this time. They blamed the Russians last time, the Chinese before that.
Oh yeah, and this whole thing about the Russian collusion, they got knee deep in this, and there's some Democrats that are. I hope they go to jail. Okay, yeah. I hope they go to jail because it was all BS.
It was all BS to get that woman in power after what she did to the boys over in Benghazi.
Yeah.
She should have been destroyed.
So let's look at this. And tell me in the chat if you would live here. In 2021 in Chicago, there was 805 homicides. In 22, they're saying homicides declined from 21, though exact total number not provided in the excerpt that I went to. Then in 2023, there was 621. In 2024, there was 573. Okay, so you can see where it's declining, but from the number where it spiked in 2021, it's basically the average is correct. And right now, as of August 25th, there's been 262 homicides in Chicago. Now, we're not talking about the county, okay? We're talking about the city of Chicago. Okay, Chicago PD, these are the numbers from Chicago PD. Most dangerous Chicago neighborhoods. Okay. If you know people that live in these neighborhoods, these are the worst of the worst in Chicago. So West Garfield Park, one of the most dangerous neighborhoods in Chicago due to the high crime rates. West Englewood has experienced elevated crime rates, particularly for violent crimes like shootings and robberies. So then there's East Garfield Park. Like its neighbor, it has historically high rates of violent and property crimes driven by gangs and violence and poverty that's in that area. So that's the ghetto. Auburn Grisham area of Chicago has consistently ranked among the most dangerous South Side neighborhoods due to its economic challenges and housing instability.
Do you know what that sounds like to me?
So because you have a housing problem, and the mayor said that in an interview, well, we wouldn't have crime if we had proper housing. Okay. Have you ever heard of moving?
Yeah.
You don't have to live there. Okay.
Did you ever watch Sylvester Stallone's movie, Demolition Man?
Yes.
Chicago.
Yeah. Then there's North Lawndale in the 3rd percentile for safety compared to other U.S. neighborhoods, according to some analysts. And I don't know what all that means. It's in the 3rd percentile for safety. So, yeah. So those are your most dangerous areas that you can expect federal troops to concentrate in to stop the. Then there's Grand Crossing, characterized by high crime rates and violent crimes, including shootings and vehicular hijackings in that area. So when you look at federal troops coming in, it's not really the downtown area. It's those suburbs in Chicago, or those boroughs, or those slums, or whatever. But one of the things that I noticed on TV is, hey, Rice Lewis, welcome in. Glad you made it. See if I missed anybody else. All right. So Rice Lewis made it in. Chicago has the strictest gun laws and the highest crime rate. And I heard that you can't operate a gun store. You can't have an FFL. You can't do none of those things within Chicago, the city of Chicago. Yet, that's where all the guns are.
Yeah. You know why? I mean? Because all the criminals have got them.
But who are the criminals?
The ones that are pointing the guns at you.
Well, I'm glad you asked, Paul. There are at least 90 active street gangs in Chicago, with law enforcement having identified over 747 individual sets within the city, meaning there's chapters within those gangs all over the city. Okay. These gangs are a major concern for law enforcement, who considered at least 21 of them to be the greatest threat due to their size, organization, and violent nature. Here's a closer look at the gangs. Okay. Everybody hears about the Bloods and the Crips and stuff like that. But there is quite a few major, now these are the major gangs within Chicago. And remember, each one of these have subsets or chapters within the gang all over the city. The Latin Kings, okay, a Hispanic gang known for drug distribution, violence, with a large presence in Chicago and other states, as noted by the Department of Justice. So the Latin Kings are operating out of Chicago. The Gangster Disciples, one of Chicago's largest and most violent African-American gang, also found in many other states and known for drug distribution. Okay. The Vice Lords, an ancient street gang with African-American membership, headquartered in Chicago and affiliated with the People's Nation, with various factions like the conservative Vice Lords and the traveling Vice Lords within the organization itself. Then you got the Black Disciples. Are you finding a trend here? Okay. Because the way the streets or the city is ran, and the job opportunities for people within these communities, these men and women are turning towards security within the gangs. Okay.
But some
They're
of them don't
turning
have a
toward the
choice.
security of that. And that's who's killing each other in these gang wars. But the sad thing is, the innocent bystanders, when they go on a drive-by, they don't give a hoot, hell, nothing who's standing around. If they have a target and they kill everybody in that area, they don't care.
Yeah, and they don't have the death penalty in our city.
You know what I'm saying? But if the feds come in and they apprehend you, we do. Okay. So those are the main groups within the city of Chicago. Oh, wait, I missed one. There's one more. Almighty Black Pea Stone Nation, considered by authorities to be Chicago's most powerful street gang, financed through a wide array of criminal activities and part of the larger People's Nation Alliance. So, I mean, they have structure. You know what I mean? They have structures within their gangs, and they run that operation to make your life a living hell. Okay? So those are the gangs within there. And this is what Trump is sending the troops in, sending the federal agents in to clean this place up, or to at least make a dent. I believe in Chicago, there's going to be a lot of killing on both sides. Okay? Because these guys don't want to give up their turf. Okay? See, my father is Italian, and we have relatives in New York in the Italian mafia. Ooh, okay.
It still doesn't scare me, Tamara.
Utah has the most lenient gun laws and the lowest crime rate. Well, yeah. I mean, I'm from Arizona. All right. And in Arizona, hey, Jesse May, good to see you. And in Arizona, there is a case that happened, and they passed it. A guy was going to work. All right. He stopped by a Circle K and to put gas in his truck to go to work. All of a sudden, he looked into the store, and there's a guy with a mask and stuff and had a gun pointed at the clerk. He was robbing the place. And like a good old boy, he pulled out his deer rifle out of his truck and shot through the plate glass window with the 308 and hit the guy in the head and killed him. Cops came. Of course, he was apprehended. The Maricopa County lawyers were going to prosecute him. Jury of 12 said, nope, that was a justified homicide.
Yeah.
And the guy walked. So the legislature, now Arizona is different than a lot of places. In their legislature, the people vote on changing of the law. So unlike other states where they pass something, the governor signs it, and it becomes law. And you don't have no say-so in it. It's whoever you put in office and how they vote it. But in Arizona, they have to put it on a ballot for the next voting ballot. And then the people vote on it. Hey, good law, bad law. And they do their due diligence. They write it all up, blah, blah, blah. And then they vote on it. Well, the people in Arizona said, those are justifiable homicides. And you have a responsibility to stop a felony that's happening. Okay. So they passed that. Then they passed one of the first open carry states. When they went to open carry, that means anybody can carry a gun that's of age, 21 or older.
I thought they had to reach safety parameters.
Nope. They changed that too. Open carry, 21 years or older, you can carry a gun. Look, before they did that, you had to get a concealed carry permit. You had to go to a class. You had to pay these people to certify you. And then you take that and then you pay the state and you get your little license at the DMV. Well, when we were there, that's how it was when we were living there in 2010. And so I had one, and they're sitting there going, well, hey, well, wait a minute. We're going to change this. And the state was making millions of dollars a year on buying a license, right? So then they changed the law to open carry state, all right? Or a constitutional carry, just like Oklahoma is. But in Arizona, we never seen so many people with guns on their hips in the Walmart, walking around. I don't care where you're at, there's guns. And the crime went down because everybody's carrying, right? The crime in Arizona went down. Now, of course, you got illegal aliens coming across, and there's basically petty thefts and stuff like that to get them through so they can move up away from the border. So
what David Blunt's just posted is what I was getting at. You can open carry in Delaware, but you have to be able to buy a gun in a gun shop and pass a background check.
Well, yeah, you have to do that. That's everybody has to do that. Okay. You have to fill out an FFL form. It's got to go through the process, and then you can carry. Okay.
And by the way,
to legally own a gun. Okay.
Engineer.
Yeah. But then you have the thing in Arizona called the inheritance, where you can gift a firearm. I don't know if they changed it or not, to a relative, your son, blah, 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 or whatever. And you just have to say, I'm gifting this, and you both sign it, yada, yada, yada. And that's what they have here in Oklahoma, because I gifted a shotgun to my son because I had too many and he needed one. And we just had to fill out that form. I keep a copy, he keeps a copy, and then they just have to show it. And he didn't have to go through a background check. But I'm at the Walmart in Sierra Vista, Arizona. And this guy's in the parking lot, and this is where I agree everybody should be trained on a firearm that they're carrying. And a guy, I just parked and I'm coming around the corner and this guy runs by me and he's got a purse, and all of a sudden this lady opens up with a 38 special and hits everything but that guy. She's just firing. And then I'm just like going, holy crap. And she's wearing it on her belt. And then she opens it up and drops it, and she had a fast reloader, puts another one in there and starts firing again. So she shot 12 rounds and never hit the guy. And then somebody down in the parking lot tackles this guy. Okay. And she comes up running. And I thought she was going to shoot the guy while he was on the ground. And then the police, but I swear, if she didn't hit 10 cars, she hit 12 cars in the Walmart parking lot. And that's where I'm saying you need to take some kind of training in order to be a responsible gun owner and carrier. What's that?
That's for Brett.
Brett.
Yeah, butt nuggets.
Oh. Why? What did I say that he didn't like?
No, he says, oh, there's the boobs. He's just come in. There's the boobs. I think you should put tassels on your heads.
Oh.
And Brett, by the way,
and hello to Deborah. Troy Sutton, hello.
Whistle stop is in.
Constitutional carry in Missouri. We still do a lot of permits at the office since our county borders Oklahoma and Arkansas. Yeah. Now you can still go through the process and you can get a concealed carry permit signed by the governor in Oklahoma, which I encourage everybody. If you own a firearm and you're carrying it, you need to have some kind of training that shows, hey, and you have your gun registered. But in a lot of states, you don't have to go down to the police department and register it. You just have to make sure you have access after, if there hopefully never is, but if there is an incident, that when you go to court, because they're going to confiscate your gun, no ifs, ands, or buts, they're going to do it. And you can go back home, get your FFL approval stuff, all that stuff, and say, here you go. And they go, okay, give the guy his gun back. Okay, if they're not going to prosecute or whatever, depending on if it's a justifiable incident or it's not. Okay, it really depends. But don't get mad at the law enforcement guys for coming after you, because I was a police officer, and everybody wants to take their, that's not their job. Okay, their job is to help prevent crime, gather information, and they let courts decide who's wrong, who's right, and stuff like that. But everybody wants to get mad at the cops. Okay. And, I see all these people bitching and complaining. Oh, he's got his knee on his back of his shoulder or the back of the neck. We were trained the same way, and they're still being trained that you have to get total control of the person. Okay. And if you're fighting, you're probably going to get hurt. Okay. And you're probably going to get several people on top of you to get you to stop and get you cuffed. All right. I watch all these videos on YouTube and stuff like that. And it's amazing how animalistic a lot of people are. Okay. It's just crazy. And here's the other thing. I have never heard of people who are driving in cars trying to get away from the police outrun a Motorola radio. Okay. It's physically impossible to outrun a Motorola.
Yeah.
You're not going to do it, because if you're in a chase, first of all, you got to make some smart decisions, okay, as a police officer. If I'm going to spin you, okay, meaning I'm coming up from the rear, going to hit the side of the back of your vehicle and put you into a spin, is it in an area where the least amount of people will be affected by it? They can't just, mid-time traffic and then it takes out 4 or 5 other cars and bystanders and stuff like that. Cops got to play by a rule, okay? Now, if you're endangering people and you're causing so much, guess what? That Motorola will bring police brothers and sisters together like nobody's business. And I can't understand where people who have run-ins with the police, all of a sudden in the public eye, they become the victim. They're not the victim. All right? They're called the subject on a police report. Hey, Mary. There's Mary.
Yeah. Whistle stops in here. I say.
Yeah. I say yes, sir, no, sir. Terry's pissed off because when they run my name, they always come back and they said, all right, you need to slow down. And Terry gets a ticket every time. Or in one case, she got the personal cell phone number of the police that pulled her over. I said, wait a minute, dude, I'm right here. And he goes, oh, and here's my personal cell phone number, puts it on his business card. Like, dude, I am sitting right here. Man, trying to pick up my wife on a traffic stop.
Mike, will you say hello to Ed?
I can't find Ed.
That's because I've told you, I don't know how many times, and you've totally ignored me.
Where's Ed? Oh, there he is. Hey, Ed, good morning to you, Ed. I was lurking in your live last night. I think you had Paul on there, you had Troy on there, you had Devil Dog, you had Dez, and you had Rebecca when I was watching. See, I watched. I was on my phone and I didn't feel like saying hello to everybody in the chat on my mobile device, as Paul, they call it over there. I'm on mobile. Let me get back down. There we go.
I beat Motorola once, Mike.
Yep. And Mary, I'm going to tell you something. I'm enjoying you guys doing the land clearing and getting ready, moving your trailer in, spreading the gravel, all that stuff. I'm enjoying that.
Don't take this the wrong way, Mary, but for an old deal, you are surely shifting some shit.
Yeah.
I'm probably
they're
older.
Getting some rain over there too, because it's been raining for like 4 or 5 days here, and everything's moving to the east. But hey, on the other hand, in Chicago, the murder rate is currently as of the 25th of August is 266. And at the same time, the year prior, 24, was 389. So yeah, it did go down, but 266 still way too many, especially if you come from a place where once every 10 years somebody gets murdered. Criminal sexual assault. To date, there was 1,141 sexual assaults. That could be rape, that could be anything, in Chicago. Robbery, 4,003 robberies. Aggravated battery. That means they beat the crap out of somebody with other than their fist. Aggravated battery, 3,749. Burglary, 3,971. Felony theft, 11,488 so far this year. Misdemeanor theft, 25,836. And motor vehicle theft, carjackings, so far this calendar year, 10,774 carjackings. That's a lot. That's a lot of crime. You know what I mean?
I'll not be driving through there anytime soon.
Yeah. And one of the biggest ones, I couldn't believe this, were Hyundais.
Yeah.
And Hyundais is the number one vehicle that the police in Chicago say are involved in crimes. So they're stealing your Hyundai because you can easily start a Hyundai without, and somebody put something on a YouTube video on how to open up and start a Hyundai without a fob. I'm like going, holy crap. And then the crime just started going up. It just started going up. So yeah, there's a lot of crime. And you can see like the murders in Chicago, in 21, there was 524 at this same time compared to the 266. And they call that progress. However, as politicians and stuff in the greater Chicago area, defunding the police not only hurt Chicago, but anywhere you see where they were defunding police, that crime just skyrocketed. Yeah. And there's cops that, hey, you need to go over here to whatever West Grisham Park, and there's an assault in progress. I ain't going. Because number one, it might be a setup. Number two, it's one of the most dangerous places. So they don't want to even go in there. They go in there after the fact to drag the bodies out. Okay, once the shooting's done. And I don't blame them.
Neither do I.
I don't blame them. So this is what people are living through in Chicago. And then, of course, they drive downtown in their Hyundais or whatever they jacked. And then they go in, bust into a jewelry store or walk into department stores and just steal everything humanly possible. Look at San Francisco. How many businesses left San Francisco? They said, we're done. We're moving out. Nordstrom, all these big stores are saying, yeah, we're not doing this no more. Okay? Because they're allowing it to happen.
Yeah.
So why would you want to do business there? Move to a state where
restocking your shelves to get them plumaged every time you do it. It's not business.
And like the governor of Illinois said, hey, give us some federal funding and we will hire 5,000 more. Dude, you just lost that and you were getting federal funding. Okay? You were getting federal funding and you lost all those police officers because there's cops out there that says, enough is enough.
Yeah.
I'd rather go to Carthage, Missouri, and be a deputy sheriff than put up with this crap here. You know what I mean? Or McAllister, Oklahoma, rather than, you know, work in New York or whatever. And
That's funny.
I'm
That's
seeing where
funny.
a lot of places are giving sign-on bonuses because they can't get cops to come there.
You'd rather go to McAllister, Oklahoma.
To be a cop.
Aren't you trying to move?
I live right outside of McAllister, Oklahoma.
And aren't you trying to move to Texas?
I live within the county. And if I was healthy, I could go and become a deputy sheriff, but I couldn't chase down a freaking cat this morning. Okay?
You couldn't chase down my granddaughter and she's not here yet.
Let alone some teenager that's committing a crime. These hips don't move like they used to. But I will tell you, I do support, all right, an aggressive police presence.
Yes.
And, you know, see here, there's so much not to do that you can guarantee someone's got a radar somewhere just so they have something to do. I mean,
what the hell happened?
You're in McAllister and you're on Highway 69. I'm telling you something. The Highway 69 is probably the most ticketed highway in the state of Oklahoma. That is a big artery for all the truck drivers, and it goes 70 miles an hour, then boom, 40 when you go through little towns and stuff. And I can tell when somebody from Texas is coming through. I don't understand. You come into another state and you're speeding, you know, and they don't pull you over until you're 10 miles over the speed limit. And every single day I've gone through there and there's a Texas plate on the side of the road, Texas plate on the side of the road, you know, because they don't slow down. Okay. And then you go to Texas. Maybe they're afraid of the Texas Highway Patrol. Okay. But in Texas, nobody does the speed limit. We're going through Sherman. I'm going, the speed limit is 80 and they're not doing it, but they come to Oklahoma and then they speed. I just don't get it. And a lot of them are college kids. You know what I mean? There's a lot of college kids that travel up and down going to Tulsa and they're going to, you know, Oklahoma City. They use Highway 35 coming out of Dallas and stuff like that. But
you mean Louisville?
There's Texas on it, and they're making money. And like I said, the hot spot here is Savannah, and Savannah won't pull you over until you're 10 miles over the speed. It ain't worth their time. You know? It ain't worth their time. But once you hit that 50 and a 40, man, I'm going to tell you, you're going to see unmarked pickup trucks and all kinds of stuff after your butt. And so, you know, if in Chicago, if you're a cop, you're probably smart to go in after the shooting's over with and not during. Let the gangs kill each other. But with that comes innocent bystanders. Just in the last 7 days, I believe it was, just in the last 7 days, there have been 9 homicide murders in Chicago. That's just in 7 days. So that's over a person a day is dying in Chicago. Okay. Last year, in the same 7-day period, there was 18 people killed. So there must have been a wedding or a picnic in the park and people, you know, one gang after another gang and stuff like that. Now, it would be one thing if it was gang and gang killings, but the innocent, the bystanders and stuff like that suffer from that. Hey, there's Daisy.
You should be as well, Tamara.
Hello, Daisy. Welcome in. There's Bing.
Yeah. Tamara's saying homeland gangs are going to be charged as terrorists.
They should be.
do.
Well, here's the thing. Yeah.
And there's Cutie Pie.
Yeah. But here's the thing. If they label these gangs as domestic terrorists, if you get arrested, I would not even touch a county or a city jail. Again, if you're labeled as a domestic terrorist, and that's what they're trying to do, they're just terrorizing the people. You should be on a military flight, the fastest they can get one out of O'Hare, okay, and ship your ass to Guantanamo Bay. They got a lot of open beds in Guantanamo right now. I think they only got like 11 terrorists that are living there right now. And they got like 5,000 beds. So they have plenty enough beds to take these people, put them on the island, and then federally charge them, okay? And if they don't have a place there, then they can ship them back, I don't know, another federal prison and, do their sentence and do their time and stuff like that. But they got to get these people to a secure location. Because when you look at the numbers, the sheer numbers of gang members in Chicago, and they're saying it is up from 2021 till now. They said there was an estimated that the police knew of a count of 150,000 gang members within the city of Chicago. 5,000 cops are not going to put a dent in that. Okay? That just means you have 150,000 people pointing a gun back at you. Okay? That's what that means. But yeah, the governor's saying, oh yeah, if you give us more money, we could do it. No, you're not. You're not going to do it.
They should just send in the Marines.
Oh man. Yep. Good morning, Lacey. Good to see you. Glad you're here.
They all need military training, Mike.
Is there any good fishing in Gitmo? Probably.
You might pick up a shark or two.
I know I went TDY to a place called Johnson Island Atoll in the South Pacific, and it was a chemical decommissioning place. And it's basically a big sandbar in the middle of the ocean that they built this whole thing on. And the only thing you can do there is you can get your scuba master diver certification there from beginner to master diver, and you can do a crap ton of fishing. Yeah. And
well, I can tell you one thing.
They had sea-doos and stuff like that. And that was basically, of course, they had a gym and stuff like that. But yeah, it was, I was an MP and I had to go out there for a 90-day rotation. Hey, Barbara. How are you doing?
I can tell you one thing, though. You ain't going to be no scuba diver no more.
Yeah. No. Um,
At least not without a submersible.
in fact, I have a friend, Sergeant Major Perrette. He was the Sergeant Major of Gitmo for a while there. And then he became the Sergeant Major in Hawaii, the top Sergeant Major in Hawaii, I believe. Oh, wow. I didn't know that, Wendy.
How did she stay down?
She's so little, huh? But I will tell you that when I ran the outdoor rec program in Colorado, we had a rafting program going down the Arkansas River through the Royal Gorge and all that stuff, Browns Pass, all that stuff up in Colorado. I had to send my people to Swiftwater Rescue Course, and they said that was hard. So, and all my raft guides, they had to be Swiftwater Rescue certified because you're going through class 4 rapids and stuff like that through the Royal Gorge.
I wouldn't be no good at helping you put your gear on, Wendy.
Oh, there you go. Paul?
The protests over here are all because Keir Starmer, his biggest thing to get into power, was promising that he was going to stop the boats. Since he got in, he's tripled the boats coming over.
Yeah.
And we've had enough of it.
Yeah. They lie to you to get into office, and then they don't see the whole thing about a democratic society is the people vote for you so you can represent them and not your personal interest. That's the way it's supposed to be ran. Okay. Hey, this is going on. Send out a blast. Okay. Send out a blast and say, hey, in Congress, yada, 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 so on and so forth. What do you think? And then get all your lackeys that work for you, all your staffers, to say, hey, majority says you shouldn't be supporting this crap. Okay. But they don't do that. It's all their own personal after they get in. And you guys, people just keep voting the same freaking people in. I mean, how do you get a bartender who makes an ass of herself every time she's on TV? Okay. And
she can't do anything else. She looks like
they keep voting her back into office. And now she wants to run for Senate, Chuck Schumer's seat. Man, y'all are stupid. I'm sorry. If you can't see stupid in the headlights, something's wrong with you.
I could just imagine trying to shove Wendy into a scuba suit.
It's crazy.
They were selected, not voted in. No mail-in ballots.
Yeah, I mean, that's true too. I'm pretty sure her dive belt probably requires more weight to keep her down because she is little. But she's wiry. She's wiry. I'm small but wiry. Anybody know what movie that came from? She's wiry.
No. If she's wiry, stick a bloody old battery on her toe. See who gets a shock.
Yeah. I mean, I'm going to tell you something here in Oklahoma. If you're running for office and you say, one of my platform things is no more mail-in ballots, you're probably going to get into office. Now, there is a guy, I don't know who he is. I've been looking into this guy. He's running for governor, and I think he was like the attorney general or something. I can't remember. And I just seen his first ad on TV, a tall, blonde-haired guy. I got to look into him, but he's running. I mean, you're not in Oklahoma. If you're a Democrat, you are not going to get voted in as governor in Oklahoma. When all 89, the only state in the entire United States where all 89 counties went red during the presidential election. And those counties even included Oklahoma County, which is Oklahoma City. And then over in Tulsa, they went red too. So if you want to live in a red state, come on over to Oklahoma. We'll take care of you. So, yeah, but could you imagine? I mean, every city, major city, they have gangs, they have bike groups, they have one percenters. I know in Colorado Springs we had to deal with the Sons of Silence that were there down in Pueblo. What was that Mexican bike gang?
No idea.
The Banditos. Because I was the chapter commander for Combat Veterans Motorcycle Association in Colorado Springs, and we had about 160 members within our chapter, 10-3, and not 10, 3-1. Yeah, 3-1. Can't remember. I've been all over the world. And I was the chapter commander for that unit there. And I lived in Pueblo. And I pulled in on my motorcycle. And all of a sudden, these guys pulled in. These banditos came in. And I'm just minding my business. I said hello to them and stuff like this. And this guy walks over to me. And he goes, "You're Big Mike." And I looked at my name in there. I said, "Yes." He goes, No. He goes, I'm sorry. He goes, "It sounded stupid." He goes, "You're the chapter commander for combat vets." And I said, "Yeah." He goes, put his hand out. He goes, "Good to meet you." And I looked on his vest and it said president for the Banditos. And I go, he goes, "Why don't you and your officers come over for a gathering we're having?" When they say, "Why don't you?" that means you should be there because they're a 1% group. So we can get to know you. And so we showed up to it and stuff like that at this one bar, and good relationship with them. Not so much with the Sons of Silence because they're so big. And they always send people around to all our get-togethers and just to monitor what we're doing and stuff. And come to find out, the guy owns a painting company, and he lives over where I live. So got to meet him and stuff like that. But and everybody knows what you're up to, and stuff like that with these bike gangs is how they make money. And so on and so forth. So just keeping a good relationship with them. But that's what we had. And then, of course, in Denver, had the Hells Angels move into Denver, and Sons didn't like that. But that's what you had to deal with. And I'm sure in Denver they had gangs. I'm sure they had a lot of support bike groups for the Sons and the Banditos and stuff like that. And it wasn't bad. Okay. It wasn't bad. And I know the Suns did a lot of public things to make them not seem as bad as they really were underneath. But when you go into these inner cities, these guys are fighting for their lives. They think and you're going to send the troops, and you're going to send in federal agents by the thousands to help clean this up. I think you're going to see that it is going to get ugly before it gets better. And I don't think it's going to be as easy as them going into DC and they go into Chicago. Not when you've got 150,000 soldiers, unless you bring 150,000 soldiers. I don't think, and I say soldiers on the criminal side, that's a big contingency. And you better have a good battle plan before you go in. So, let's see. All right, that's doctor stuff. Yeah, banditos. Yeah. And it's kind of weird because from Pueblo south is banditos. The central part of Colorado is Sons of Silence. And then the northern part, of course, you have Sons of Silence and the Hells Angels up there. So, and it was weird because I had to go to these things, what do they call those things, hon? I had to go to those council meetings. Oh, she's not in there. But I had to go sit there, and all the bike groups were represented at these meetings they had every quarter. And the lawyers were there. And I mean, bike gangs have lawyers. I mean, there's a lot, and they're setting down the rules how you can operate as a bike group within the state of Colorado. Nothing to do with the cops or nothing like that, but with internal, there's a code that you have to operate under or shit gets ugly. And the ones in power make all the rules. So, all right. So,
Wendy, the only problem with all the people from the city going to the country is, like the migrants or the immigrants, sorry, they're trying to bring their bloody politics.
yeah.
They don't forget the Democrats. I said it right. Democrats. Yeah. So when they go over, they're still voting Democrat.
Yeah. And the bad thing is like we talked about before on one of these morning talks, is these people come into our country and they're saying they're fleeing from oppression and the way their government treats them. And then they come here, they don't assimilate to the American way. And then they want to start up and bring the crap that they fled from, they want to start it up here. And I don't get that. That's when you got to go.
It's called an invasion.
Oh, yeah. And that's when you have to go.
I mean, they're trying to get Sharia law over here.
Yeah.
And
well, they did that up in Michigan. They were saying, "Oh, I'm not covered by your laws. I'm covered under Sharia." No, you're not. And they have to show them. Okay. And if you don't nip it in the bud, it can get ugly quick, fast, and in a hurry.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
As soon as they say I'm covered by Sharia law, they should be dragged out, thrown on the floor, put in handcuffs, and thrown in the bloody back of a cop car.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of like here in Oklahoma. You got tribal law.
That's different.
And the tribal law if you commit a crime somewhere and you belong to the tribe, one of the tribes, they take over.
Yeah.
And they're more lenient. I will give you that. They're more lenient. But there's certain things that they're not lenient about at all.
Oh, yeah.
And especially child molesters, okay, or the killing of another tribe member. They're not. And all theirs, if you get sent to prison, you're going straight to federal prison, okay?
Yeah.
But if you're, I mean, I see these guys, I mean, they got tribal plates on their cars and they look like me. And I'm just like going, what the hell? How are you tribal? But way back when somebody was on the list and the roster and stuff like that. But yeah, they speed through. And as soon as they do that, they want a federal tribal law enforcement, and they get out of tickets all the time. But one guy said, he goes, man, I've had 30 tickets. I get out of them all. I go, whoa. He goes, I just take it over to tribal court. So, yeah, I don't know if he was bolstering or lying or what.
You mean bullshitting?
Yeah, I used a nicer word, bolstering. Welcome in, Brian. And there's Kevin over there, hiking with Jackie Boy. Welcome in.
Hey, Kevin.
Good to see you, brother. Yep. So, Chicago, tell me in the chat, okay? Just in the chat, tell me yes or no, the feds should go into Chicago and help clean that place up. Just a yes or no. That's all I need. Please. Let's see. Yeah, and they're talking about the law enforcement are saying that these gangs are spreading out wider and wider. And I'm going to tell you something. One of the problems in Chicago is if you watch YouTube and those town hall meetings in Chicago, listening to the black community, they are pissed. They are pissed because what they're doing for the illegal migrants, they have been asking for years, all right, for years for the city to, clean up this and renovate this and help the black community out for homeless shelters and stuff like that. But then they start spending billions of dollars for the illegal migrants coming in. Well, now they're saying, like this one lady said in a town hall meeting, is now we as a black community are now behind last on the list, and now the migrants are in front of us.
Yeah.
And they're pissed.
I bet they are.
They tell him straight up, you are done. You will never work for the city of Chicago again. They're pissed. They're pissed at the governor. They're finally seeing what the truth is. What they've been voting for all their life, the Democrats have absolutely proved that the black vote is only there during election periods. They just shut up, stay in your ghetto area or wherever the hell you live. And they don't support the black community. And I get that. And then you say, like we read all the gangs, how many of these gangs are predominantly African American? There's a shit ton of people that are finding homes and sanctuary within the gang population. Okay. Why is that? Because Chicago's not providing. Now, it doesn't help that they're closing down the Walmarts in Chicago as fast as they can because they're stealing from where they live. And I don't understand that. There's an old saying, don't shit where you eat. Okay. But yet they're stealing from all the stores in their area and they say, hey, there's nothing here no more. No, you done stole enough that they can't do business there no more. Okay. They're paying higher prices for groceries. Yeah, because you're stealing it. Okay. And the people that are working, that are trying to raise a family, they can't make it in Chicago. You got to move, guys. I know nobody's watching this from Chicago, but you got to get out of that place. There's going to be a mad exodus. You trust me. Just like California, mad exodus. New York, mad exodus. If that guy in New York gets in, that socialist, whatever his name is, Ramaswamy Baba, whatever his freaking name is, he gets in, man, if you own a business,
if he gets in, they want
to now.
If he gets in, they want to stop federal funding.
Yeah. New York's bad as it is right now, but it can get worse. Yeah. And now
gets in, they want to.
And now he's a friend of the police officers. When he said for years to get rid of them, defund them. And now all of a sudden, oh, wait a minute. We're going to need these guys.
He's going to need these guys until he gets into office.
And I think Chicago's mayor just signed an executive order banning federal troops in Chicago.
That's not a federal order.
Federal law supersedes local law all day long. Sorry to tell you that. Yeah.
I wonder how much them gangs in Chicago are paying towards his contributions.
Do what now?
I wonder how much the gangs in Chicago are paying towards his contributions.
Yeah, because I don't know. Even if I'm not going to make a statement that they are financing that mayor's whatever. But yeah, they want to be left alone. They want to rule their area the way they want to rule it. They don't want no police in there. And if you're a family that lives within one of those areas we read about earlier, yeah, I would get my kid. If you love your children, I'd get the hell out of Chicago. Yeah.
I reckon most of those families that are in Chicago now.
Yeah, and child trafficking is a big problem.
Yeah. They're stuck
on some
there
of the reservations, yeah. But I'm going to tell you something. People exploit children all over the world. Paul was telling me a story about a delivery he made, and they converted an apartment building into 4-floor sweatshop.
They transferred 14 houses into a sweatshop. They literally ripped out all the adjoining walls, put up scaffolding, and every 5 foot high, there was a floor. And I had to deliver. It was a box lorry and a trailer with a box on. And all they were wardrobes and drawers. There was no beds, nothing else.
Yeah.
And it was nothing but a sweatshop for kids.
Yeah. And when the cops came there, they took into custody 340 children.
Yep.
And 180 or 80 adults.
140 adults.
140 adults that were running this sweatshop. And I'm sure it happens in cities all over the United States. When you listen on these hearings and stuff, and where they have a count at the border and Child Protective Service, even at the federal level, their numbers aren't even close. They're saying, "Oh, we're tracking 88,000 children."
If they're tracking 88,000,
340,000 just came across.
Yeah.
So you are only tracking this, and these kids are out there somewhere doing something. I don't know what it is. I don't even want to fathom what people will put children through. Yeah, I don't. Absolutely, yes. See something, say something. Yep. And here's one of the things I heard about Rockford. I used to live in Rockford when I was a little kid. My uncle owned a grocery store in Rockford, and he also worked for Pepsi-Cola. Him and my dad worked for Pepsi-Cola. And crime is skyrocketing in Rockford. The gangs are moving into Rockford. And I was shocked because I was looking at state statistics for Illinois, and Rockford was right up there after Chicago. Crazy. We used to live like one block away from the Rockford Hospital.
I used to like the Rockford Files.
That was back in the 60s.
Yeah, I used to like the Rockford Files.
Yeah, and no father in a home. You know, when there's no father in a home and there's somebody showing attention to a young man on the streets and that's how they lure them into these gangs, giving them a sense of security, direction, whether it's illegal or far-fetched or whatever. They're giving direction and security to that kid. And when there's no father in the home to do that, then, and I'm not just saying mom's got a new boyfriend, father in the home. We're talking about your actual parent. And then, men taking responsibility for their children. I heard a comedian, I think it was Cat Williams, and stop calling these fathers of your children deadbeat and all this. They were deadbeats when you laid in bed with them. Trust me. Nothing's changed. And then you're shocked because of the caliber of man you're hanging out with. Come on. Yeah, your interview process on men is lacking. I know marriages, they break up and stuff like that, and people get on with their lives and stuff like that. But a real man they take care of their kids. Sorry if you don't believe that. I saw a video today of a black referee at a children's football game in Chicago, stating that kids can't even play football at the city park without drive-by shooting. Yeah, very sad. Yeah, support mom, not Amazon. But we're getting so lazy. Amazon is so easy. I don't even have to put a pair of pants on to go shopping. And it's here the next day, just about.
Yeah.
They're making it so we are absolutely the most laziest society. I remember living in Germany. Every morning you'd see the wives going to the market. okay, buying the food for the day or the next 2 days, because they only have these smaller refrigerators over there back when I was living there, back in the 70s and 80s. And my mother-in-law, that sweet old lady,
1870s.
she would walk every day to the Aldi, okay, or the Penny, and she would buy her food for the day, breakfast for the next morning, and stuff like that. Do all that, and then she'd go to the meat market, the Metzger. Then she'd go to the bakery, to the bakery and stuff like that, pick up what she needed, and then she'd come home. She probably walked about 5 miles doing her shopping, keeping her in shape. But not now. You just go on Walmart and say, okay, I want 2 bundles of bananas, blah, 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 blah. And then you just have to drive by and pick it up. Or a store or they'll deliver it to your house. That's how lazy we are. Okay? We are lazy. Not everybody, but a lot of us are lazy because you know, Christmas shopping, you don't even have to go see, you don't even have to talk to another person anymore. And
shit, I'm gonna have to start.
You don't have to drive and drop the presents off, because you can hit, it's a present, and you can write the card and they'll put it on the card and they'll ship it all. I'm telling you, it's crazy how lazy Americans are becoming. And the businesses know that. And they're contributing to that. Yeah, I think Oklahoma is getting ready to pass the law. You can't be a foreigner and own property, land, or anything in Oklahoma. Arkansas already did that stuff. Okay, they already did that. And where's the farmland? Near military bases.
That's where they should be putting the Walmart.
And financed, all these grow houses, all this stuff is being funded through China and all these other countries. Yeah, Cat Williams, that's who it was, Cat Williams. He was a bum before you slept with him. Why do you think he's going to change because he got you pregnant? Yeah. Just spilling the beans.
He was a bum before he got you pregnant. Now he's a dog.
There ain't no. I don't think I could pass. I could pass a security background check, but I don't think I could pass the background checks by news agencies. They will dig so freaking deep. Okay. And I mean, come on. If you don't have one divorce under your belt, you ain't trying. You ain't trying. Let's see.
You should have put the one that I said. I answered that one.
Yeah, I agree. Let me tell you something about HEB. Terry will drive from here all the way down to Melissa to go shopping at the HEB. She'll go there once a month, once every 2 months, and she will go to HEB and come back with a Jeep full of everything. She absolutely loves HEB. Loves it. The quality of food, the quality is just bar none. Okay, bar none. Some of the best. I mean, she even goes down there and buys her tortillas from them because they're so buttery and oh my god, they're buttery goodness. So yeah, she buys her coffee there, and you know the best chorizo is at HEB, and just top quality food.
I used to hate it when my mum found a good shop. because it would never be the closest one. And I was the one that used to have to go and get the shopping.
Yeah.
She'd give me a list and say, right, go there and get that. But that's closer, go there.
Yeah.
And if I didn't go there, I'd get my ass kicked.
Yeah, I think HEB is a Texas brand, but I did hear that they were going to they're going to move to other states. Terry?
Yes.
Yeah. HEB's got plans for HEBs in other states other than Texas. But the nearest
Terry's
one to us, I thought they would have one in Sherman at least, but they just opened one up in Melissa. Yeah, because
That must be
Sherman's
so for Melissa.
Sherman's an hour and a half from us, and then if you go farther down, it's like hour and 45 minutes to Melissa to 2 hours. Yeah. But Terry go down there. I mean, she goes to Waco. She goes to HEB.
Yeah, that must be painful for Melissa if everybody's going in there.
Yeah. Yeah, it is the FEMA of grocery stores. You damn right. I've been in there. I like it.
FEMA's got a bad reputation at the minute.
What's that?
FEMA has a bad reputation at the minute.
Well, I'm going to tell you something that FEMA did it to themselves by classifying through the president that illegal immigration was a national emergency to take care of the people. And they spent the money that was for tragedies, hurricanes, tornadoes, floods, all kinds of stuff. That's what FEMA is there for, emergency management, okay? And taking that money and moving it to take care of migrants. And then when it's needed, there was no money there. Yeah. And you can't just show up and say, okay, we don't have no more money. It's got to go through the whole congressional process and the reason why. And I'm pretty sure right now, if you went up there and said, hey, we spent all our money on illegal aliens, we need more money because there's a hurricane coming in. And it's a huge one. How long does it take stuff to get through Congress and then passed by the Senate and then signed by the president? So, hell, we just now got the no tax on tips. It took them 7 months to get that through. Okay. It said no tax on tips.
And then the Democrats wanted to bring it in.
There was 3 things. And then the no tax on Social Security went through, but it didn't go through the way people thought it was going to go through. The only way they could get it through is if you're on Social Security and you're 65 or older, you get a $4,000 tax break. And so that's really not no tax on Social Security. You get a $4,000. It used to be 19, and now it's $1,900, and now it's $4,000 break on your taxes. So, and then if you're under 65, it's still $1,900. You get to take off your taxes. So who knows? I haven't read the actual bill in its entirety. If anybody knows where I can find that, please let me know. Email me at homestead@gmail.com, and I would appreciate that. I'd love to read that because I'd like to do a show and break that down.
That's where they can get the money for FEMA.
What's that?
Those Democrats that don't fall in line and clean up their own cities. Take their federal funding off them and put it into FEMA.
Here's the thing. Here's the problem. If there is a famine in another country, or if there's a war in another country, Americans are absolutely open armed, sending money, private organization, Catholic charities, Protestant charities, Jewish charities, all these people, all these organizations shipping stuff to countries.
Yeah. We're
But
the same.
when it happens in America, oh, it's FEMA. FEMA. What happened to taking care of your own? And it's because all these organizations truly are international people. And if you don't think people working for them are making a good living, you're living in la la land. Okay? You are absolutely being bamboozled because it's about money. American Red Cross, you don't think that person is making a ton of freaking money? Okay? I'm sorry. People are making money. They don't do stuff without, it's like, what was that on the Hunt for Red October? The Russians don't, take a shit without a plan. And these companies are the same way. They've got a plan, and the plan is about money. So you can give to whatever you want. Somebody's making a profit off of it. Okay? I don't care if you give it to Danny Thomas. Somebody's making a living off your money. And they're getting paid first. Trust me.
You guarantee that.
They're getting paid first.
The top ones always get the biggest whack.
Yep.
I mean, I was watching one of your court things with a Senate hearing where they were talking about the American Airlines after 2 crashes. They were talking about all the improvements for safety.
Yeah.
That haven't been implemented because the one in charge of it has taken a $4 billion pay rise.
Yeah. Oh, and here's another thing. I was always against bailouts of companies. If you screwed it up so bad, go out of business. I don't care. Why should you get taxpayer dollars to save your company and then look at all the payroll that's going out? Because stockholders are going to get their money. CEOs are going to get their money. And then you need a bailout? Maybe paying a CEO $30 million a year isn't the smartest move.
Yep.
Okay?
It's like that one in Japan.
So I'm saying if you run a household and you're on the verge of bankrupt, who the hell's coming in and saving you? Nobody.
Yeah.
Nobody. So if you can't run a company, you need to fold it up. If it's Ford, if it's Chrysler, if it's whoever, sorry, close your freaking doors. But see, what they were looking at was the voters that work for those companies, the hundreds of thousands of voters that work for the car companies, that work for the auto unions and stuff like that. That's all they're looking at. They're not looking at saving things. And then you turn around and you bail them out, and then the guy's still making $30 million to make decisions.
Where is that 30 million coming from after he's been bailed out?
It's coming from, they put it in the bank. They're banking it all. And thank God they got rid of the USAID. Because guys, you were getting robbed. Okay? That was basically a slush fund of billions of dollars of tax dollars going to all over the world for some BS. And I'm sorry.
Why do you keep apologizing?
I don't care about transgender studies in Uganda. Okay?
No.
don't give a crap. And neither should you. All right. How about taking that money and building a school somewhere in the United States for kids?
Yeah. The only time
Build,
I give a crap.
community center somewhere, okay, to help children. All right. How about using that money to pay for all the school lunches? Okay. What about all that? Everything that we need in America to get the homeless off the streets. I still think we need to have insane asylums because there's a lot of wackadoodles out there.
Yeah,
All
mostly
right?
in the Democrats.
And we closed all those. Oh, that's invasive. Yeah, okay. So you got some wackadoodle named Robert who identifies now as Robin and is all pissed out about life decisions and goes and shoots up a school and kills kids. Okay? That person should have been identified. Parents knew about it. As soon as that manifesto hit Facebook and all that stuff, should have been tagged. Sorry, Facebook, you didn't do your job. Should have been tagged and should have been in some crazy house.
Yeah.
So, yeah, fix the roads and bridges in America. All right. Eisenhower built all that stuff. Shit needs to be changed. And you can help the community because they're going to hire civilian contractors who have to hire people to do all this stuff. So, and then the only thing you can do is, oh man, I hate going down that road. They've been working on it. And we said that about McAllister. And then when they got done, freaking bigger and better. It's a great highway now going through there. It's not as dangerous no more. Make cafeteria cooks great again instead of box lunches. Yeah. Take that money and hire somebody who knows what the hell they're doing and run your cafeteria in your schools just like a restaurant. I mean, you make certain things, but make it quality things and not processed food things. Okay? Yeah. But anyway, guys, we've been on here for almost 2 hours, Paul. But hey, it was a great subject. I do believe, in my personal opinion, that if they go into Chicago, they better have, just like when they go into combat, they better have a battle plan ready. Okay? Backup support, supplies and services, things in place before they go in and start, knocking heads together, cuffing and stuffing, and getting people out of that city. And it's not all illegal immigration. Trust me.
I've got a battle plan for them.
Homegrown terrorists living in Chicago, and they call them gang members.
I've got a battle plan for them.
What's that?
Do what they do over in Afghanistan and the Far East. Go for the head.
Yeah.
Take the fall.
I don't think they're going to have. I mean, I get it. I get it that if there's gunfire, the rules of engagement should be overwhelming fire going back. You too, Tamara. But see, you can't just send 10 ICE agents into Grisham Park. Okay. It ain't going to work. They're going to kill every last one of those ICE agents. They don't care. Okay. They're good at what they've got combat time under their belt. They know the city better than any federal agent. Okay.
That's why they don't need to send
overwhelming force that goes in there. So anyway, guys, I'm glad you guys came in. Guys, I hope you have a great week. And always remember, be kind to one another. Help somebody in need, and always think of that. Hey, And if your congressman or senator is not doing what you sent them in there to do, flood them, flood them, hit their websites, tell them they're doing a crappy job, get people on your side. People read that stuff all the time. All right. And guys, just take care of yourself. Be glad you live where you live. If you live in the inner city, guys, there's a lot of places out there you can move. Look at Zillow. Okay. Look at Zillow and find you a place to get out of. So anyway, guys, I want to thank you guys for coming in. Paul, I want to thank you, brother.
As always,
and
stay safe.
I hope England, they get their shit together, because you guys are getting overran. And you'd think, hey, how could that possibly happen? You either have to come in on an airline or a boat. How can you not stop that? It ain't like the Rio Grande. You can just swim across. English Channel's pretty wide, guys.
I'll tell you how they're doing it. The French are bloody helping them. The French are giving. Keir Starmer's just given the French $5 million, £5 million, sorry, to stop them. And what they're doing with it? They bought them boats with it. Yeah. They bought bloody dinghies.
Well, that's because they want them out of France.
Yeah, but they're allowed in France.
Yeah.
The only reason they're coming from France is because they want our benefits.
Yeah. That's
Stop
easy
the
to
benefits.
change. It should be easy to change. If you're not a citizen, you don't get the benefits.
Exactly. That's why at the minute
Until
all
you
these
become
hotels,
a citizen, you get nothing.
Yeah.
But that raises crime. So then they go, why is crime exploding? Stop them freaking boats from coming over. Put your Coast Guard out there and freaking haul them back. Net them like hogs. Net them like hogs.
There's more crime in London now because of the mayor. He's Islamic. There's 67% in London now is Islamic. Anyway,
all right,
we
brother.
said goodbye.
Yeah, we already said that. But hey, we're trying to hit that 2-hour mark. Anyway, guys, we'll see you on Friday. I will be here. We are going up to Chrissy's on Wednesday to see Chrissy up at Paragon Ridge Ranch. And then we'll come back home for our live show on Wednesday. And Sergeant's Talk TV is on Tuesday at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. Hope to see you guys there. And guys, share this out. And guys, I wish you guys would come up on air with us so we can hear what you really think. That's what this channel's all about, guys. Real talk.
Except Linda Peterson. She scares me.
Yeah. Linda Peterson wants to use a flamethrower.
No. She wants to go fishing with my little worm.
Oh, okay. All right, guys. We'll see you later. Bye.
Stay safe, everyone.